Hey, welcome back. Let's unpack that after dark. Little hiccups because my co-host was unavailable, but and then I got a special guest, the beautiful. She gonna introduce herself. I'm gonna let my people introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Very, very happy to be here. You all can just call me simply Danny, short for Danielle, but everybody call
All right, what's up, Danny?
Okay.
Shall make the God official Gemini season birthday boy. About to
Ah,
do this and hit the streets.
birthday, birthday to
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you want to hit the street? You want to hit the streets?
Yeah, yeah,
That's why you took
yeah.
a nap. That's why you asleep.
Yeah,
All
I take a
right.
power nap. Once you get over a certain age, I ain't gonna say what number, but them power naps is
Uh,
vicious. You need those.
okay.
always digits. Always happy to do that.
So we missing Mika today, but she be back. She not feeling well, but she be back. So
Okay.
today's topic is I'm gonna read social media postings depicting the crimes in the community and the way it is managed and addressed by viewers. Right, it's a hot topic. It's something that goes on every day. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unpack that. We're gonna have a conversation about that. So tell me what you think about that, Sha.
It's crazy. Social media's changed everything. It's scary. Like the kids having accessibility to that stuff. Because I remember, like when I was a kid, if you didn't watch the news, you didn't know a lot of stuff. They exposed the stuff way too early. Kids getting phones younger and younger. So it's like instead of when things happen in these neighborhoods, instead of trying to help or call the police, the first thing that people do is pick up and film it and watch the activity actually go on, which is crazy. I mean, it's helping catching people, which I guess is a good thing, but I think there's a lot more victims now because of it too.
Okay.
Oh, Dana got her little She got my birthday drink over there ready. She got, yo, I think it's her birthday today too. Every day your birthday, huh?
No, let me tell you something. I just got through cleaning the pool, and I couldn't quite finish because I knew I needed to in my spirit I needed to join you guys. So the pool is being finished off by my better half, but that was some work. So my arms feel like I feel real strong right now.
The pool
I
is
just want to
crazy.
know
What
when
you
I'm
do?
gonna get an invite to the pool party because that's what.
Yeah, we got
What?
coming
She
Sunday.
was,
Had to do it. The pool got opened on Friday. And
Oh,
today is Friday, Thursday. So it needed to be clean, and oh man, that's hard work.
where you live in Calabasas or something? Yo,
I'm in a beautiful environment. Sometimes I feel like I'm at a resort somewhere in some remote island, but I'm in Long Island,
oh,
way
yo,
way out in Long
last exit, right?
Island. Else like it, but like 3/4 of the way. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Danny, tell us what your thoughts are.
So I'm so happy that you all are allowing me this opportunity to share what I've been experiencing. This whole social media situation is a blessing and a curse. Like the God said, people have those who are committing crimes have been making it very easy because of the community and their ability and their willingness to video to catch criminals, perpetrators, you know, fairly quickly. But here's my thing. When I was in college, we talked about Big Brother watching, and we knew that this whole ability to see everything in real time was on deck and on the way. But when you talk about the late '80s, middle to late '80s, and early '90s, it just seemed something like the Jetsons, something that was just far reaching. Maybe I won't be here when that becomes a reality, but it's a reality and it's in our midst. And I feel like to some degree it's being mishandled. Now, when we talked about Big Brother, you thought that maybe we had to worry about the feds. We had to worry about, folks just trying to have a Windows view into what we're doing and to use it as ammunition against us, right? But what I find is that our people, our culture, is using it against each other. So before we get real deep in terms of crime, I gotta share something that happened to me recently. So I know that you all experienced the woman who was lassoed by a belt by a man and dragged and in between the cars and sexually assaulted. Someone
Yeah.
posted that video and I was mortified. And sometimes when you see things, you can't unsee it. And it was really messing with my sleep. And so one morning when I woke up, I looked and I saw the video again and I saw all these comments. And the things that people were saying, I was like, what is happening? What's happening to us? Everybody's talking about community. Man, you can't speak about community unless you know who's in the community, right? And that's how I really feel about it. Everybody's always talking about community. So people in the community are saying, "This community, this shouldn't be happening in our community. And what was she doing now? The 3 o'clock. Everybody has hypothesized why someone is where they are when they are attacked, murdered, maimed, whatever. So I made a comment. And maybe my comment was harsh, but I reacted in that moment. And before I'm anything, I'm a human being. And
Mm-hmm.
with respect to the children, excuse me, not with respect to the person, I said something about, you know, who's raising these animals. And someone said, first of all, let's not identify with that racist trap that, other people, the others are using. And I said, this isn't anything about being racist. This is about how this has impacted me. And I live in the community. I'm aligned with the culture. I recognize and understand the things, the social ills that are impacting us. And it was like a back and forth. This guy comes out of nowhere and he really berated me and came after me. Now, he knows me. My social intelligence is plugged very low at this big old age. And I'm just not going to sit by and allow somebody to try to mishandle me. And I very articulately communicated a response that I thought that was perfect. I said, okay, we speaking about community. Why don't we all just get together and figure out what we can do to offset the potential of this happening any further? He comes back again and says, oh, she's just a keyboard princess, trying to whatever it was that he said. And I just told him, I said, you know what, you're not even an asshole, you're just a whole ass. I said, if you a whole, it's not L-E, it's WHOLE. And so I want to do a little research and I wanted to look at his page because I wanted to see who he was. My own personal reasons, of course. And underneath his name, it says he's the person that they call when shit hits a fan. And I said to myself, well, I know no wonder they're not calling you because you are shit that is hitting the fan. I just
Mm-hmm.
like the way that people who are uneducated, who are bored, people who are looking to use social media platforms as a means of putting themselves out there for whatever their personal reasons are. I'm not happy with the way our culture is handling the things that are impacting us. And that is, I just needed to put that out there. And I wanted to see how you all are so eloquent. And I like the way, you have fun with it, but you also educate your viewers. And I really wanted to know how you felt about that.
So I think, excuse me, I think that it's always disheartening when you're able to give an opinion and how it's perceived and received to the point where you're being attacked verbally or emotionally, right? Because you don't have to know a person to feel words that's coming at you, right? And we all know that on social media, people use a social media platform to tear people down, and they particularly tear our Black and brown families, people down, because that's just what the norm is perceived to be. It shouldn't be, but I think that one of the problems is that a lot of times it's within, right? It's how people feel about themselves, right? And a lot of times it's projected onto the next person, right? So you see how the person tried to assassinate you and attack you, and then when you look at the profile, you're like, really? Right? So that just speaks to how that person may be feeling about, or probably is feeling about themselves, to the deflect. I'm gonna put it back on you to make you feel how I'm feeling because I'm a coward and I really shouldn't even be having this conversation because I'm ignorant to what you're trying to say or the message you're trying to convey. That's the problem, right? And I think a lot of time, um we us, right?
Hmm.
We take so many different directions that's the wrong direction, right? But then we justify the behaviors so that we can make ourselves feel better about what it is that we're doing, right? That now being able to post such a video should have been a flag, period, right? Because nobody's thinking about the victim, right?
Right.
We know that the person that's committing the crime is, we want to make sure that that person gets caught, and there's some consequences there, but nobody's thinking about the victim, right?
Right.
Nobody thinks about how that victim, that person's going to feel seeing that, right? How it's going to be a trigger for that person, how it becomes a traumatic situation for that person, because now I have to keep reliving something, and don't let the person read the comments, because then it's like it becomes a psychological thing,
Right.
right? And then when people react to the things that they experience on social media, and let's just say they do something to themselves, now is they have a problem, but nobody's taking accountability for the role that they play, and why people self-esteem are being dropped, and why people have low feelings for themselves when it comes to these situations, right? So we
Right.
talk about how people are posting crimes, right? People in the comments have something to say. People have, and I'm going to say black and brown people have so much to say, even when it's supposed to be a positive post, right? You have people that don't want to post their children because someone will go on there and go full ham on their kid, and no, these kids are going to see that, right?
Right.
We use social media to talk about people, celebrities, things like that, but we forget about their families, their children, right?
Right.
And not justifying any behaviors that's wrong, but not understanding that people make mistakes, right? And then the consequences is great when it comes to what they've done, but their family suffers more than them because they have to deal with the backlash of something that they've done.
Right. I
So
agree. I agree.
So I think that let me look at what's going on over here. Instagram real quick. Mika Boo, she said people play this front on social media, but put the work put the work. It baffles me sometimes. I've seen when someone said it takes a village to raise a child, but the village is retarded. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No
Because
point.
when we
Oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who, me? Yeah, I want to say two things. First, I see you, Danny. You have a drink, and then you call me the God. So I love you. No disrespect to your partner, your other half. But I love you. Thank you for that. But
you're
the
welcome.
real issue on a more granular level is we already had issues before social media, and social media is just a tool that's exacerbating them. We have a lot of issues as a culture, and now that we have social media, they're just more visible, and it's disgusting because you have to have certain characteristics to even do some of the stuff that people are doing, and when they use social media, and that for me that's the real problem. That's really the core of the problem. And now you have adults doing certain things, and now kids are doing this at 13 and 14, and
Huh.
it's getting worse because it's going to create a culture of even younger kids doing the same thing, emulating what they see on this social media, and it's just so readily available. I mean, there's no screening process for some of this stuff. Little girls are going on there meeting guys they have no business meeting, having conversations with people they have no business meeting. And it's just crazy. And I'm also interested. I would love to know if the person that filmed that incident, which I'm kind of glad it was filmed because they caught him, but did they call the police? Like, did they even send it to the police? Did they film it
Right.
and send it to their friends as entertainment? Like, oh my God, look what happened. Like, what was that person thinking when they were filming it as this person is being physically assaulted? And instead of calling the police or doing something, like it's just, I just
No,
don't understand what somebody's thinking. Like, either go help and call the police and then start filming, or and I understand the film and you want to catch it, maybe you catch a license plate or whatever. But I want to know if that person that filmed it, what did they do after that? Like, what else? What was running through your mind when you filming this incident? Did you stop and just, because that's what these kids do now? Kids are fighting and stuff, and all you see is 50 kids filming it while somebody's getting brutalized or something, and it's crazy.
well, I mean, just to clarify, just from my vantage point, when I looked at this video a few times, I think it was a camera that was affixed to a building.
Oh,
I
okay.
Somebody was video because you would have heard all kinds of commentary. Oh my God! Oh shit! You know how people do.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that somebody was watching that in front and just kind of. But I mean, so here's the flip side of that, right? Um, some people are fearful, right? I mean, and I'm minusing the recording, right? I've been on a train before and a man walk on a train and grab the lady's purse and I'm sitting there like,
And
my bag in my hand, like,
you was
what am
like,
I? What can they're like?
oh,
What can I really do in that moment, right? So we
mm,
do ask those questions. What are the person doing? Because, like you said, it's a lot of people that pull out their phone immediately. Oh, right. But at the end of the day, and you pull out your phone. So my question is, and I think I agree with Mika when she's saying that social media is raising the level of mental health to the highest, right? Emotional, mental health, right? When you think about someone watching a video of someone getting assaulted, right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
that assault ends in a person being unalive. I often think, how does the person that was taping that feel?
Vicarious trauma, trust me,
Right,
and it manifests itself in so many different ways.
right. So like what so and then we wanna have these conversations, right? And we want to be able to kind of unpack what it is that we can possibly do or even try to put out in the community to kind of change the thought process when it comes to social media, right? You know how hard that is though when you have the music that portrays some of these things, right? There's a lot of I don't even listen to the music. I'm old school every day. I'm still back in Aretha Franklin and OJ's, right? That's me all day, right? Because I can't understand what they play now. I just don't. And it's like and it's a big deal. And people like, yeah, that's my song. And I'm like, but I don't even know what they're saying. And then
Wow.
my kids say things like, "But when you was growing up, y'all had raunchy songs too." I'm not saying that we didn't have raunchy songs. I just think that there's a difference, in my opinion. There's a
They were subliminal. They were not like pervasive. You know,
okay.
or subliminal. It's like, you got older and you were like, oh my God, was I singing that? That's what that means?
We
Yeah,
didn't know what it meant. We didn't know what it meant. We was singing
no.
Danny, you was on the Freaknik video? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the
No,
truth.
I'll tell you something. I'm very transparent. My friends and I were like, yo, we need to look at this in parts. We gotta confer and make sure we wasn't in there. But if I was in, I
You,
can't
you told
handle
on
it. I
yourself.
might have
You
been hit.
told on yourself. You told on yourself. You said you had to make sure you weren't there. That means you was at Freaknik though.
Oh,
it.
but of course.
Yeah,
Angry Cuz.
you definitely told on yourself. You know what? It's crazy because the music was bad, but how accessible was it when we were really growing up? I don't know how old
Right.
you are,
That's
Danny,
what Miko was
and I'm not
saying.
gonna ask, but like you couldn't get certain things on your phone, but everybody saw Al
We
Green
didn't have no
topless on the
phone.
album cover.
Right.
We didn't
Right,
have
right.
no phone.
So it wasn't
No,
accessible. So
Rick James, like our parents had certain songs we listened to, and I think that at that moment we didn't really know what we was listening to until we got a
Mm.
little older. But even in our era, there were no cell phones, there were no social media.
right,
You had to hear it on video music box or the radio if they played it, whatever station played it, because they censored everything. Or you had to catch it on the TV and take the tape recorder and tape it on a cassette tape. But I'm showing my
yeah,
age.
put tape on the top of it and all that. Luke Skywalker was vicious though. When he came out, he shut it down. Luke Skywalker was vicious.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
He
But
was
I mean, I think that as the generations change, the music just gets different. It's just different and it caters to different things. But when you have music that's glorifying shooting people, right? I think our era was more like selling drugs and stuff like that. The next era is more about walking up to somebody and just shooting them or just, doing certain drugs and things like that. So it becomes challenging because we all have different generations, right? You hear yourself say, well, when I was growing up, you couldn't do this. But now the kids today, I couldn't suck my teeth growing up. Remember, I would be down the block and she'd be like, you said something under your breath. These kids now gonna tell you in your face.
But we all know why that's the case, because it's the breakdown in the family structure. So you have kids having kids. My grandmother was the appropriate age. Grandmothers now are like 39,
That's
35,
true.
you
Yeah, but
know.
our grandparents didn't care. My grandmother, she'd knock you in your mouth and knock your teeth out and don't care. Go run tell that, right? So I mean, it's different. When we was growing up, our grandparents played a different role, and our parents did things differently. A child is a child. You're supposed to be seen and not heard, right?
About this. your grandmother could have saw me doing something inappropriate, not really know my family, and handled me and brought me
Yeah.
home, tell them, my parents or whomever, how she handled me, and it wasn't a problem. Now you touch
Right. Now.
and they want to kill you, they want to kill your family. Yeah,
Mhm. Right,
there's no
wrong, on a different.
the moral fiber is not anymore.
I'm
Unfortunately.
I'm glad my grandmother ain't know you was at Freaknik. You'd have been in trouble.
Oh,
She
listen,
would have been
I
appalled with your. She'd have
before
been appalled with your behavior.
before we even get to Freaknik, Teddy Riley's joint in Virginia Beach. Now that was what was up.
That's where I
Oh,
was. I was in Hampton and Newport News.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
oh.
We ain't going. We'll give dates behind the scenes. I don't want everybody to know I'm really not 25. We'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Okay, man.
Teddy Riley had a jumper down there. He used to go on Hampton campus. Oh man, he was terrorizing stuff down there. It was dope though.
Oh no, it was amazing. I'm telling you, they don't even know what it is to have a good time or what a real party is these days.
Right. And you know what? It's interesting that you should say that, right? When I think about our era and how we were able to and don't get me wrong, in no way am I saying that there's never any, it's always peace. Okay. There's
Hmm.
something do pop off, people do fight and things like that. But
Hmm.
back in the days, we look forward to Grant's Tomb. We look forward to walking up and down 125th Street from the east side to the west side while the cars drive by. Wet Willie's. I mean, those are the things that I lived in Queens and I was always in Harlem. But what I'm saying is that there were things that we look forward to going to that
Hmm.
had some peace with it, right? Greek Fest, you know,
Yep.
things like
Gatekeep.
that.
Freaknik.
Skate Kid. Look, the ring.
The ring.
You say, oh. But I
First,
mean, I think,
first Grant's Tomb, the Apollo on Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, the Rink and Willie Burgers on 145. Don't get me started, man.
yeah, yeah.
I used to go to the tunnel.
Oh, yep,
Okay,
the tunnel too.
what's your number
Tu-
today? The number.
Tunnel was dangerous.
She said, "What's your number today?"
Yeah, tunnel was dangerous. That's when we see the co-ed bathroom and all that. Tunnel was dangerous,
What's
but it
up,
was a good
Ace?
time.
I bet you my number bigger than yours.
Yeah, we're gonna talk behind the scenes. We're gonna talk behind the scenes. You know, it's my birthday, so I got a little older. We're gonna talk
No,
behind the scenes.
I know. She just said our generation. I was sitting here counting on my fingers and toes, and I was like, yeah, I'm a whole uh, a decade ahead of her. You know what I mean?
But I used to hang out with people older than me. I never hung out with my age. So that's why that was that. But so yeah, I think that I don't like it's a movement, right? It's a movement, right? And then a lot of times a lot of these movements sometimes wind up being corrupt and don't have genuine intention, right? Um you tell your kid not to do certain things and then they develop a spam page, right? I'm learning a spam. Now I'm on your social media, I'm watching it like a hawk, but you got a spam page where you doing all the stuff you're not supposed to be doing,
Even know how to do that, please. Like I
right?
don't.
Like, do you know? So my thing is with children, right? With the teenagers, not children, the teenagers, like 18, 17, right? The way they go, excuse me, the way they go so hard on social media and live is sad because
Mhm.
they're emotionally scarred by it. They hurt. Like these people, they get on there, they go back and forth, they say all kind of foul stuff to each other, stuff that don't even make sense. Like, and then they get in their feelings, and then it's like now they crying on the back end. They upset. They don't know what to do because now they gotta prove to the world that they tough.
What about the social media images or responses to certain images, or people posting their classmates and used to be best friend, and now the child has committed suicide because it was just too much pressure to bear. Let's go
Right.
there. How
So
about
my
Yeah,
that?
thing,
that's not talked about enough too.
when it
No,
comes to that, I wonder, so I remember when they had this movement for bullying, right? They NYPD had a big movement. You couldn't even say you gonna be somebody up. They was gonna lock you up and give you a juvenile record, right? I'm not
right.
really sure where they are today when it comes to that, but I think that it's important because there's no accountability when somebody is being bullied and that person actually unalive themselves. There's no accountability. but a
Right.
parent who's leaving and the other kid is just moving on,
Right.
right? We talk about suicide prevention and things like that, but there needs to be something, I believe, in social media that blocks certain things, right? The Instagram, Facebook, they block what they think is necessary to block. They block people that makes money so that they can stop the fund. But when
Right.
it comes to hold on, I don't know what that why did
You
that
hit the wrong key on the keyboard.
I didn't even
I
touch
thought
it.
you were about to start singing. That sounded like a church organ in a Episcopalian church. So
I don't know how to turn it off. So oh.
it's
Sorry.
all right. But yeah, like because back in the day, I mean, back in my day, like you could get beat up and people wasn't going to talk about you, or you could get, sometimes people would get bullied, but somebody would step up. Now, because of social media, the whole world is going to know. It's the embarrassment factor. So now things that you could brush off and just go to school in a small little community would know. People got you all. People in China know what happened to you. That's a lot of pressure on a 13-year-old kid, and they got a video of him like getting his books knocked out his hand or whatever the bullying thing is. Because it used to be confined to maybe a small group would know, but now with social media, they filming everything they do, and now everybody in the whole world knows what happened to you. So everything just exacerbated by this social media stuff and what these kids film and stuff like that. And I think it's just ruining core values of how people are growing up because they don't believe in the same core principles and they have the same moral compass that we had now. And they're growing up way too fast.
Yo,
Right. So how do you go
I'm
ahead?
so serious, right? But I know when I watched the show, the guy, I don't know if it's the wine or it's just him, but everything he says, there's some humor woven into it. He said the book's knocked out of the hand, and I'm trying not to laugh because
You got your book slapped out your hand?
because as bad as the bullies, if I start laughing at him, but it's something very humorous when he delivers.
She said, I don't know if it's the one. It's not the one. It's not the one. That's
But I
shot it
watched.
off.
He is funny.
I'm hilarious. I tell people I'm hilarious, but we'll do it funny because we just met. So that's fine. You'll come around. You know what I'm saying? You'll come around.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you good. I'm gonna look for you on that Freaknik tape too.
You ain't gonna find me.
No, I definitely because you look familiar, and I know it was you I saw, but I'm gonna find it though.
She said you're not gonna find her.
Because I was the one abusing you. My role. So I'm the hand up. Okay.
So if you had to
Mhm.
so hold on, let me look at some comments. Sharif
Okay.
said it's the days that was a lot of pressure growing up in Left Right. You get rocked and you are a non-factor. Yeah, that's true. So that's like in our community growing up. If something happened, you was like it's no big deal. You got beat up, you the rap, like no big deal. But it's pressure, right? Because now if I'm not a fighter, right? And I know that if I don't fight this person, now it's a problem. I wasn't a fighter anyway. I don't fight. I want everybody to get along. Let's just get along. But no, I can't say that thing for my kids, but me.
Right.
But I think that I think that one of the things is that so I understand when we sometimes when I look at comments and I be driven to say something because I'm like, is this is pure ignorant. Oh, I had my sister too, so my sister was the fighter for us. But anyway, you're right, Sharif. You telling all the business today. But I feel like when it comes to certain things, people should just
Mhm.
get flagged. I feel like they should develop a team in Instagram and Facebook where when people are doing things that can mentally affect another person, that they should just be flagged,
Well, that's
right?
a good. Yep.
Um, because at the end of the day, it could be called like something prevention, right?
It ain't got.
uh, Mental health prevention or mental health crisis prevention or something like that, so that they can develop something that can limit the amount of kids or unaliving themselves, the amount of people going through depression because of social media. You see a lot of celebrities that get off social media, but they find themselves arguing with social media because they gotta defend their honor or defend what's going on. Because we grew up worrying about what people say, right?
Right.
It's not until we get to a certain age where we be like, I don't care. But that age in between, it's bothersome. It bothers us. We care. right? But then when you get to a certain age, you be like, I don't care.
Listen, there's this
Bro-
limit. Think about, I could just say this. I'm not at liberty to share my association in terms of my career, but that agency that I'm associated with, um, they're the biggest bullies and the biggest social media bullies. They're there, and they're like 40 plus. Let's talk about that demographic. How about that?
They
Yeah.
soft.
Yep,
Those are
yep.
the kids that couldn't
Oh,
sit at the certain tables at lunch. So now they got a little platform to be relevant again. They crazy. And we
cool.
already know it. We already know what you do. You get money because you cleaning pools and drinking wine. So we don't need to know exactly. We don't need to know
That
exactly what you do, but we know you get some money. You out here
that
cleaning pools and stuff.
that part.
You know what I'm saying?
Can tell you. I've said to her before. I said this person reminds me of somebody who used to get beat up in the schoolyard, and now that they have a title, they're abusing their authority.
I
I've said,
posted some, I
have I?
posted something. I posted something today. I'm gonna share it. And it
Okay,
said,
share. Why don't you?
um, hold on one second.
That's another
Uh,
reason why I don't pay attention to people. If your picture not in your profile pic, and I know there are sessions like because I'll put my I won't put my Knicks up there right now, but I'll put my sports team up there sometimes. But
Hmm.
I purposely put my face on there so you know exactly who's talking to you.
Oh,
And that's
absolutely.
another thing about our culture too. Back in the day, if you wanted somebody to know something, you had to see them somewhere to tell them. You couldn't just post stuff in cyberspace from your living room, and you had to come outside. So you had to stand on what you were saying back in the day.
Oh no, they would stand outside your window like, "Come outside." I'm like, "You're not telling me
Yeah.
twice." Say, I wish Say Less was out back then.
Where did you grow up?
The Valley.
In the
Oh
Bronx?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you know my man Duck. All right, we'll talk off scene. We'll talk off
Wait,
scene.
which one? Which one?
she know
Tall,
everybody.
tall, dark skin.
I might. I don't know.
Yeah, the Valley. You know you're your own community. You from the islands?
My family is, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's
own it.
little Trinidad and little Jamaica in the Valley. I know people in the Valley.
Oh yeah, no question.
Said VX, you heard.
Go ahead.
So I can't find what I post, but it was to the point of people are jealous of you because your character holds more weight than the position that they have.
Oh, absolutely. That's no question. That's an understatement.
Right. So
Hmm.
you find that, especially when it comes to social media and people, I remember like I used to think I used to love when social media came out, I loved it. Like I'm just post, post, post until one day, matter of fact, you was one of them people that was like, girl, pull back. Right. And
You
I'm
put
like, what do you mean? Everybody, people are fun. Let's go, until I realized that people really on the low be trying to force a demise on you. Your situation, your job, your career, your life, your relationships, everything. They say they happy, but they're not.
No, right.
Right? Social media will tear you down slowly if
Hmm.
you don't pay attention to the things that people say. If you pay too much attention to what people post and is that a subliminal message? Nah, listen, you can post whatever you like, right?
Hmm.
Because what they say, if it fits, it fits. If it's for you, if the shoe fits, wear it, right? But
Absolutely.
no one should have that much power, right? And that's something that we need to try to convey to our youth and
Hmm.
our young adults that listen. Social media doesn't have that much power, right?
Hmm.
Because half of the stuff on social media is not real, right? It's a fraud. You know, people pulling up next to somebody's car, taking a picture, but it's not their car, right? People acting like they live in a mansion, but they live somewhere else, right? People counting the money that was due for the rent, but it's not their money. They got to pay the bills, right?
Hmm.
So we can go on and on about the false images that people put on social media, but we do have our youth and our young adults who thrive off of that, and they think that that's what it is, so they want to do that too. So people
Hmm.
front like their relationships is so happy, and and behind the door you just miserable as hell, and you could tell by the response that people give you when you have conversations with them. So I just think that moving forward, we should do more of trying to yeah, people do things on social media to gain followers. Now don't get me wrong, now followers, you get enough followers, you get a check, right? So some people do it smart. It's smart, right? Like what's that lady name on TikTok? Who the bleep that I married? She got a
Oh,
check telling her
yeah.
story. A lot of us got stories that's probably worse than her story, but we ain't gonna get on social media and have that conversation, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't. First of all, some of us ain't got time for that, right? And some of us have positions where we're unable to do that. But understand that that was smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she got a check. So you do
Mm-hmm.
have some people that post things for the soul to get money, but then you have some people that post things because they just unhappy about themselves, and on social media they feel better about what it is they post to make them feel better.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
So I said,
Like, he trying to multitask and whatnot. What you
Oh,
doing?
oh, sir,
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
It's
he
my
you.
probably
birthday.
trying
It's
to
my
check.
birthday. The game is on. I woke up late. I got somewhere to go, but I'm trying to peep the game out the corner of my eye.
Yeah, I peeped that too though. I see everything.
Yeah, yeah. You the police. That's why you got that neighborhood watch job over there.
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
Yeah, that part.
Social media followers. Okay. So with that, I want to say that moving forward, I think we all should just be more mindful of how we handle people on social media and how we respond. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Everyone's entitled to speak their mind, but just be mindful of how what the things that we say and what the choice words that we use affect other people, right? Because in return, we don't like when it's done to us, right? But we're gonna continue to have our words, and we're gonna continue to have speak our minds and say how we feel. I definitely want to thank Danny for coming on and giving and blessing us with your presence. You could come back anytime you like. Shout to God. We got to say happy birthday to you. We know you got to
Thank you,
run,
thank you, thank
right?
you, thank you.
You know, next time don't go to sleep when you know we get on at 8 o'clock. But I'll talk to you about that offline. You
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
pass
yeah,
today because it's
yeah.
your birthday,
I
but
had a
it's
long
okay.
day. I had a long day. I'm glad I made it. She called me the guy too. I love you. Get my information from Lala. I love you. I'm trying to come drink wine and
Um,
go swimming.
I
I don't
want to
wear no
thank.
white beater in the
Oh,
pool though. I be chest naked, just so you know. I don't do that.
I gotta thank everybody on social media
your
for
show
showing up.
right here.
Huh?
I said I need to invite you guys out here so you can do your show right here, out here in the yard by the pool. That would be dope. Let's talk
Yes,
about
it
That's
is. Yeah, let's
what
talk about that.
you like.
Definitely.
Exit 60. You can't be in the Hamptons. You like exit 60 off that day.
it. Yeah,
Don't give your location because people watching. Exit what?
look, come on. I got steam to blow. I want to black out. Just be mad that my mom is not here anymore and I don't like my job. Come, please come. Come.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you get my info from Lala. I'll be there. I need to
All
know what kind
right.
of wine you was drinking too.
Thanks.
And Rashi.
Oh, okay.
No,
Look,
Rashi.
look.
I know
Rashi.
what Rashi is. I drink Cabernet. I drink Cabernet. I like a red Cabernet.
All right, so I'll just make sure that I have some when y'all come through.
No, I'm gonna ring the
Okay.
door with my elbows. I got class. I ain't one of these young kids. I know what you all right. I got
He gonna
Um,
bring what it's in.
you. Yeah. I'm gonna
bars,
ring the door with my elbows, you know.
nothing. We got 4 bars in here. You just have your pick where you want to which bar you want to go to.
I'm gonna have
Okay,
two.
I'm waiting. I can't wait. But so I want to thank you guys again, Danny. Anytime you want to come, you got a topic, holla at your girl. We on it.
Well,
Anyone wants to send a topic, just hit me up on Let's Unpack That After Dark
mm-hmm.
on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So you
Can I
guys
say
have a
Yep.
before you wrap it up?
huh?
God, I said, can I say one thing before you wrap it up?
Uh-huh. No, you
She
what you
said
do?
mute.
You put it on mute.
You put it on mute. You hit the mute button.
Yeah, now? Oh no,
Yeah.
that's one of the staff calling. But I want to say one thing before we go, real quick. Hey, God, happy birthday to
Don't be
you.
having relationship issues. Don't be having relationship issues over there. Don't be singing to me now. You doing everything right. You gonna have relationship issues. You better stop that. This is how social media be getting in people's business. Stop that right there. Stop that.
Love y'all, man. Keep doing what you do.
Love
I
you
enjoy the
too.
show, and I'll holler at y'all later.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you,
All
you
right. Nice
guys.
meeting you.
All right,
Take care.
Peace.
Have a great week. Peace.
enjoy. Be safe,
I'm in
y'all.
the streets.
All right.